lots of card reveals today. Basically, a lot of the set 6 stuff, a lot of the Keta stuff, Youthberk stuff, that stuff. It's good. It's good stuff. But we also got a lot of PRs. Now you guys might be going, PRs, not again. But hey, let's just pray they get printed out again. We have some interesting ones today. We got Dragonic Kaiser Crimson. You might know him, right? Bit of a reprint. Not a reprint, kind of like a reimagining for V, right? Basically, Vermilion Support, you know, Kaiser Support. First effect, let's talk about it. So in the drop zone, right, when your grade 3 or higher Kaiser Vanguard attacks or is attacked, so either one, you can CB1, and you can either call this card to an empty front row Reguard circle, or for this battle, your Vanguard gets plus 10k. So this kind of like CB1, get defensive. It's not bad. It's not bad. You gotta conserve hand. You have options to play, right? Options to play. Second effect is auto on the Reguard circle. During your end phase, right? When a card is put into the trigger zone, if you have a Kaiser Vanguard, you can Soul Blast one and retire this card, and then that card in the card in the trigger zone is put to the drop zone, right? So pretty much just it's to mitigate the Blood's effect, pretty much. You know how it just damages you and sometimes it kills you? Well, this comes in and saves you. You just have to pop it, you have to have Soul, and you're good to go, right? So pretty cool. That's an okay effect. Probably makes, you know, Vermilion go from like a tier 6 deck to like a tier 5 deck. Nothing too crazy, but good for the Vermilion fans, right? Then the second card here that we get for a PR is also, this is Replenish Mage. So on the Reguard circle, once per turn, it's a grade 1, right? When your grade 3 or higher Vanguard attacks, counterblast 1, and then from your soul, you grab a grade 2 or lower blaster and call it to an empty Reguard circle. So this is blaster support now, yeah? And this is a Royal Paladin, by the way, because, you know, there's blasters everywhere. The second effect is, when this unit is ridden upon by a blaster unit, call it to the Reguard circle. So as long as you have this, you ride this, you'll always get it out. You set yourself up for blasters, because, you know, blaster rides on this, then later on, your Vanguard attacks, the blaster comes out. Hey, good time. So pretty good PRs. I think this one is actually better, right? This one's better, because, like, you can kind of, I think you can chuck into, like, thing save and things like that. So yeah, it seems not bad. It seems not bad. I can see some play, right? And moving on, we have some D support. So this is coming out in like a PR pack. This is Desire Devil Hiko. So more kind of greed on support. So auto in the soul, when your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with greed on in this card name attacks, bind one other card named Desire Devil Hiko from your soul as face up and call this card to your back row Reguard circle. So you get a booster. You basically get free stuff, right? This kind of sets you up for your next turn as long as you're not facing a retire matchup. It gives you a booster, sets you up for the next turn. Unfortunately, you can't, like, call 3 of these in the back because, you know, you have to bind a copy of itself. So you can't get that, like, you know, super greed on plays. But, you know, it's just giving you, it's helping you out, right? It's solving one of your problems with greed on, which is that you basically gain no advantage. So good stuff, good stuff. Greed on might become even better now, right? The next card that we're going to get is, this is like a sorcerer support, Hexorb support basically. Auto front row Reguard circle once per turn. When this unit is chosen by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with sorceress in its card name, Soul Blast 2 and countercharge 1. That's pretty great. If this unit's power is increased or decreased by trigger effects during this turn, draw a card. So, I mean, that's not bad. Hexorb getting a countercharge and like an advantage, something that it normally didn't really get. That's great. The problem is that it needs to Soul Blast 2. That is the biggest issue. But there are other ways to generate soul with Hexorb. So, yeah, I think this is kind of workable. It'll be interesting to see. I think this will at least help out Hexorb, right? Which probably needs quite a bit of support. And then last of the PR cards we get today is this Kendakandario? I don't really know the name, unfortunately. But auto on the Reguard circle, at the end of your turn, retire this unit and call up to 2 plant tokens to the Reguard circle. And that's just it. Very simple effect. Gets you free cards. Basically like Rorowa support in a way, right? Because then you can set up for next turn to get more advantage. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is for Stoichea. Now let's move on to some of the Keta support, alright? We got a Nucleate Angel. Auto on the Reguard circle, when your Vanguard is placed by riding from a grade 3, Soul Blast 1 and retire this unit, countercharge 1, and it gets power plus 5,000 into the end of the turn. So, not too bad. It's working with like the Revel form stuff, which comes down, like ride, and it's just boom, right? Get extra power. That's kind of cool. I do think Soul Blast 1 and retiring is kind of a bit too, like, Soul is fine, but losing the card itself to countercharge 1, right, is it's okay, not okay at the same time. We'll have to see. Yeah. Then we had Knight of Fracture Schnazel. Auto, when this unit is placed on the Reguard circle, counterblast 1, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 card with Youthberk in its card name from among them, reveal it and put it into your hand and shuffle your deck, and this unit gets power plus 5,000 into the end of turn. So another searcher for Youthberk. That's pretty cool because you want to get your Persona rides, you want to get your Revel form, things like that. So that's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. The only problem is that if you miss, I guess, then you feel really bad because you just wasted like a CB. But yeah. Seems not bad. At least you get 5k. At least you get 5k, right? And the second effect is Auto Reguard Circle. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if your Vanguard was placed this turn by riding from a grade 3, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets power plus 5,000 into the turn. So you can kind of do like things so you attack with this first, right? And then, you know, then you attack with the Vanguard after after a Revel form, a Revel dress, basically after the switch, right? To get even more power. So kind of weird, right? But it's actually a triple R. Wow, that's triple R, crazy. This one was actually revealed earlier. Youthberk Skyfall Arms. The Revel Dress effect is Auto Vanguard Circle. At the end of the battle that this unit attack, choose up to 1 card with Revel form in its card name from your hand and ride it as stand, and it gets -2 drive until the end of turn. And then the second effect is act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Discard a card from your hand, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 card with Revel form in its card name from among them, and reveal it and put your hand, or choose up to 1 grade 2 or less card from among them and call it to the Reguard circle, and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. So, just, again, the Revel form stuff is the one that you ride on top during, like, the battle phase to, like, you know, do another attack with your Vanguard. So yeah, it's not like Persona rides or anything like that. But basically, it's very hard to miss. People have said, like, you know, the only way you miss is if you reveal like 3 Persona rides, then you feel really bad. Of course, like if you have to call a trigger as well, that can kind of feel pretty bad too. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. Basically, you are very usually not minusing when you use the second effect. It can help you fish for cards that you need. And the first one just kind of similar in that, like, to the old Protofall, because, you know, Proto Arms is it Protofall, Proto. Basically, the TD one just lets you do the ride during the battle phase to get another attack. So pretty nice. But then we got another one. We got a new Revel form, right? Youthberk Revel form Gust. So auto, when this unit is placed on the Vanguard circle by the Revel Dress ability, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, discard a card from your hand, and this unit gets plus 10,000 power and plus 1 drive until the end of turn. So we kind of expected that, you know, just giving extra, like an extra drive to your Vanguard after riding, after getting that -2 drive. Just to kind of put it, like, kind of in line with, I guess, restanders. Of course, you are discarding a card for this effect, so you are not plussing, but at least you have more threat, right? You're getting that extra power. Under Persona Ride, you'd be hitting for, like, 33, and then with a drive check to threaten your opponent as well. So pretty cool. And the second effect is just the normal, like, Revel form thing, where you just ride back to the grade 3. So auto Vanguard, so at the end of your turn, choose a card with Revel Dress from your soul and ride it as rest, right? So I guess it's kind of cool. You can maybe go back to the Protofall, and then ride your Skyfall, right? Because that counts as a Persona ride, I think. And then you can kind of do that and just kind of keep on swapping back to the OG, yeah? So I think that's pretty cool. Otherwise, the art for these are really cool, right? We've seen the Skyfall Arms, really nice. Very, very, very cool looking. And this guy is looking really sick as well, you know, the multiple spears. Well, that's, yeah. Pretty nice, pretty cool. Cool reveals, right? Cool reveals today. And finally, you know, some tier 5 decks getting some support back in V. So yeah, cool. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think Youthberk is very hype. I think a lot of people agree too. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, bye.